Here we are at Strathroy Antique Mall, and I'm going to go back to a booth at the back, and they got a little, well, these are old marbles for $12, glass marbles. They have a bunch of buttons, and it looks like cards, Valentine cards, in a plastic container, and I'm going to go through in and let you view it. Buttons are kind of neat. Some people take it off of certain outfits. Here's some Valentines. Buttons, very good prices, $2.50. They're cloth covered. Here's a Valentine's, no, it's a Sympathy or Sincerely. Now there's a neat Valentine. It's an old Victorian couple in love. I think it's priced at $2. It's just neat to look at that era, the clothing, the scenery, their shoes. It's got a little saying how she has a heart to give away to the gentleman. It's just a beauty. It's priced at $2. Here's a Valentine. It looks all handmade of two little children. Looks like the old flapper girl. Look at the hair and the outfits. That's too sweet. More old buttons. Looks like animal buttons. $2.50 for 10. These are glass jet black buttons. A lot of these would have come off fancy clothes. 9 jet black again, jet black glass. Some beads for decorations. The buttons you can use on your clothes nowadays, just dressing right up. This looks like it came like this and only one button was taken off. Here's another sleeve of buttons. They're caramel color mixed. A Valentine to my love. Something rhymes and morning, no, spooning rhymes with mooning. That's mostly what I'm doing. As I think of you, my love, my night and day. I'm tired of simply mooning. I'd rather do the spooning. Only say that you will give. I don't know what all it says. It's covered by the little sticker, but that's cute. And spooning's become a big thing that the young generation says nowadays, and here it came from the Victorian era. Here's my Valentine, think of me. You know what? I wonder if there's anything on the back. Some of these Valentines have little writings, all done in ink dip pens and calligraphy. I don't know how to say that word, but here it's saying you're my Valentines, and it's got a name. So let's just open up that other one that was covered in the sticker so we can get exactly what they were saying. And it says, what was covered, I'd rather be spooning. So just to give my heart away. That's cute. I'm looking at the back of other ones to see if there's any writings. Oh, this one has a big write-up. It's from Strathroy, Ontario, and that's where our antique mall is. So it's Dear Sister. It's got the full little write-up. You can probably read it. And it's got the date stamped on postage. So it's a postcard. And that is really neat. It's beautiful handwriting. So that's on the back of that one. Let's put it back so people can see it. That's neat. Here's more buttons. Bag of black buttons, glass again. Metal buttons. A lot of the metal buttons have a lot of different designs. They look neat on little boys' clothing. They'll have animals, scrolls. Some buttons are brass, silver, gold, glass, plastic, celluloid. Buttons were made out of horn, bone, ivory. Here's some decorations. Well, that's a large button. That can fancy up a lot of things. More plastic buttons. White buttons. These are kind of neat, red and black buttons. They look like Bakelite. Bakelite's the form of plastic. Here's a bag of glass buttons again, bigger. Oh, these are nice. These are plastic, but they have flowers and they're an ivory color. Just wonderful. $1 for 3. Large white swirl buttons for 3. Price out buttons nowadays new. They're probably 3 for 1. There's some different colored, multicolored buttons. Bag of buttons, all mixed. Excuse me. Large buttons, metal buttons, looks like the province stamps and birds and words. Little metal buttons. Large buttons again with flowers. Little pearls, bag of pearl buttons. They're tiny, dainty, would look good on a little girl's knitting outfit. That look like celluloid or Bakelite. Glass again, jet glass ovals. Flowers in green. Looks like roses. Pretty. More glass buttons. Jet glass buttons. I think I'm going to get them for my scarf. More plastic. It's a hand knitted scarf and it looks wonderful with a lot of those big chunky buttons. Here's a coat buttons. Little blue buttons. That would look nice on a blouse. Bakelite buttons and yeah, those are butterscotch. These are anchor buttons, plastic anchor buttons. $2 for all them. Anchors are pretty popular nowadays. Anything anchor seems to sell. You can make earrings out of them, jewelry, bag of buttons. Blues, greens, blacks, white. Metal flower buttons. Beads for decorations. Looks like a bead chain for $1.50. These are good for crafting for children also. They've never saw half these buttons. Little white petal flower buttons. Oh, those are really nice. They're jet black, so they're glass and gold painted and cut design. Those are like a burgundy end of day look. Multi-buttons put on one piece of cardboard. They had names too. Blue buttons, baby blue. Large buttons mixed. Oh, looks like we're done our container. Well, here's a little barrel of buttons. There's all kinds in here. They've thrown the rest in. They went through a lot of work of bagging and pricing and packaging the other ones. A lot of the dealers go through a lot of work keeping it clean. But this is the way to make it a lot easier. Just throw all the buttons in a jar and put a price on it. I love that big, large button. It looks like a leopard. So there's different shapes. If there's anything really, you can use a few of them. For $5, you can't go wrong. There's metals, pearls, glass, plastics, Bakelite. Here's a large jar of buttons in there, the same booth. It's got all the large chunky buttons in browns and blacks, mostly deep colors. There's some white ones at the top. I think it's $5 for this too. Exceptional deal. Once again, these buttons would look good on your knitting projects. They kind of spruce it up, add a touch of the past with vintage buttons, an antique. We're located at 39 Front Street East in Strathroy. It's worth the drive. There's lots to look through. If it took us this long to go through one little container,